You've saved the photo, cropped it, adjusted the light, maybe even opened the caption box and typed a few words. Then you close the app without posting anything. Nobody asked why. You just did it the way you always do it and moved on with your day like nothing happened. Here's what's strange. Most explanations for this moment assume the same thing, that you were scared. Scared of judgment, scared of looking like you're trying too hard, scared of the wrong person seeing it. Self-protection, basically, shielding yourself from an audience that might not approve. But for a lot of people, that's not what's happening at all. There's no shield going up because there was never a stage to begin with. The photo simply stayed a photo. Not a performance, not a decision about how you'll be perceived, just a memory you kept. That distinction sounds small. It isn't. Consider two people at the same dinner. One takes the photo already half composing the caption, already picturing who will like it, already running a quiet simulation of how the image will land. The other takes the photo because the light was good, and that's it. Same gesture, completely different internal architecture. Psychologists sometimes describe this as the difference between a public self and a private self. Most people carry both. The public self forms early, often in adolescence, when being seen and being liked start to feel like the same thing. It's shaped by attention, by reaction, by the slow feedback loop of posting something and watching what comes back. Not everyone builds that loop with the same intensity. Some people grow up in environments where being watched wasn't the currency that mattered. Maybe attention wasn't scarce enough to chase. Maybe the people around them valued something quieter, competence, humor, loyalty, that didn't require an audience to register. For them, self-worth formed somewhere else entirely, away from the mechanism of being observed. So when they don't post, they're not resisting the pull of visibility. There's no pull to resist. It's less a wall and more an absence of the door. That's the reframe worth sitting with for a second because it changes how you see everything before it. The dinner, the cropped photo, the caption typed and deleted, none of it was defense. It was just indifference in the most literal sense. Not the cold kind, the kind that means something genuinely didn't register as urgent. There's a related idea in psychology called self-verification. The theory suggests people are drawn toward feedback that confirms what they already believe about themselves, not necessarily feedback that flatters them. If your sense of identity was never built on external confirmation, likes and comments don't feel like currency. They feel almost beside the point, like being handed a receipt for a purchase you never made. This isn't universal, and it isn't fixed. Some people who don't post are protecting something. Some are recovering from a period where they posted constantly and it cost them peace. Some are simply private in one domain and expressive in another. Quiet online, loud in person. Human motivation rarely sorts into one clean category, and anyone offering a single explanation for a whole personality is usually oversimplifying. But there's a specific kind of quiet that isn't about hiding. It shows up in people who mention an experience only once, briefly, and then let the conversation move on. Not because they're suppressing it, because in their internal accounting, the experience already happened, already mattered, and doesn't need a second life as content. There's a cost to that worth naming honestly. In a culture where visibility often gets mistaken for existence, where pics or it didn't happen became half a joke and half a real belief, people who don't perform their lives can seem distant, even suspicious. Friends sometimes read the silence as secrecy. It usually isn't. It's just a different operating system, one where memory doesn't need an audience to feel real. What's worth noticing about yourself, then, isn't whether you post or don't post. It's what happens in the half second after you take the photo. Do you feel an audience arrive in your mind, waiting? Or does the moment stay exactly the size it always was? Private, complete, already enough? Neither answer says something is wrong with you. One just means part of your identity was built in public. The other means it wasn't. Both are ordinary ways of becoming a person. Maybe the real question isn't why some people don't post. It's when exactly a memory stopped needing to be witnessed to count as real for you. And whether that happened on purpose or just quietly, the way most of who we are seems to. If this made you think differently about your own camera roll, you might like the next video too.